at the end of the day, fundraising is relationship building, period. Like that is what fundraising is. Relationships, it takes time. It takes time in order to build them. And so in order to find that success, it's going to be over in a quarter or it's going to be over in a month type of thing. And if that's the kind of the mentality you're going to go into it with you're going to struggle because it's just not a sustainable type of approach. If you're in it for the long run, you're going to find a lot more success.
Is there a way for you to give an example of when you've seen this unfold in a really successful way?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll give one kind of current client, and they are fundraising in US, and then all of their money goes to programs in Tanzania. So before, they were primarily led by a board. So they didn't have an executive director. It was really basically all volunteer work. They were doing quite well, though, I have to say, for the size. They were about $350,000 annual budget, almost $400,000 budget, and it was all volunteer led, which is quite incredible. And they just basically needed succession planning and said, for the sustainability of the organization, we need a fundraiser to come on and continue the fundraising side of things. And that's where we came in. And we went through that 4-phase approach. So we were trying to see what's working, what's not working. They had a lot of donors where they have great donors. They have really great supporters, but they're based in one location in North America, and they haven't had a lot of acquisition recently. And so their donor base was, in their words, they felt like getting stale. So that was kind of an issue for them. And then they just needed a little bit more leadership. They didn't have any foundations. They didn't have any project management tools. They didn't have a CRM. They did everything on Excel. So it was a lot of like foundational stuff. And then they didn't really have a public facing building donor trust transparency side of things when it came to social media. They didn't have regular newsletters, things like that. And so we've been working with them for about a year and a half. And the first thing we did, again, we went through that different phase of approach. And the 3 different areas that we focused on for a year was foundations. We got to get a CRM in place. We got to look at donor communications. We got to look at the acknowledgement. We got to look at how we're building donor trust on social media and through those donor communications and newsletters and things. And then the second thing was donor acquisition. And that's where we brought in peer-to-peer, which was really great. And then we continued to do campaigns, but we just kind of modified it a little bit more, right? So we had a little bit more strategy into it. And we had a digital campaign. Okay, we're not just going to send 3 emails and hope for the best. There was a lot more strategy of looking into, major donors, working with corporates, working on social media and our email newsletter. So we did a lot of segmentation. And so they have done incredibly well. They raised over $75,000 last year, more than they expected. And I was actually on a call with the board chair, and this is where I love where I get to do. She was in tears because she was like, it's just so amazing knowing that this organization is going to be sustainable, and it's been in great hands.